Hi, I'm here to tell you 15 very small things you can do to change your life today. Exciting, right? The idea of improving our lives immediately. And I know you're busy, we all are. That's the whole point, because most of these tips won't take you more than a minute to complete. So, no excuses. You can pick 1, 2, or do all of them, whatever works best for you. So, let's get started, shall we? The first thing you can do to start changing your life today is to stretch for 1 minute when you wake up. Exercising can be hard when you're still sleepy, but stretching and elongating will feel awesome. It's like you're dusting yourself off and all the laziness with it and starting your new day strong. Getting your body to move as soon as you wake up will add some much needed energy to face your day. And with that in mind, the second thing is adding something to your morning routine that will make you feel good. Now, I know most of us can't meditate every morning before going to work or do anything that takes up too much of our time. But how about having breakfast by the window or on your balcony on a sunny day? Or adding something yummy to your breakfast or anything that will make you feel extra special and leave you in a very good mood. Even the simplest thing of picking your clothes the day before will allow you to start your day much more relaxed and clear-headed. All I'm saying is try a few different things and see what sticks, okay? Next, my third tip is practicing saying no. Just no. You know, I still can't believe how hard it is for us to say no and how many times we end up doing things we don't want or that we don't have time for just because we don't want to say no. Well, for your well-being, you really need to get used to saying no. You don't have to be rude about it either. There are plenty of ways to say no in a polite, nice way. So practice it in front of the mirror or with your friends or family and get used to the sound of it. You know, you can even do it as a fun activity if it will help take the sting off. Have them ask you things and you reply with a no. Hey, can you do this for me? Nope. How about that? I don't think so. How about this then? No can do. My fourth tip is make a daily list of 5 things you are grateful about. If you've never done this before, it's perfectly natural for it to feel weird at first. You may even come up blank when trying to think of these things. And that's okay. Start with broader things and then narrow them down. Are you grateful to be alive? Healthy, for that roof over your head, for that food on your plate, for the special people in your life? You know, soon enough, you'll be finding more than 5. Okay, my 5th tip is spend more money on experiences than objects. You know, most people do it the other way around, but truly in 10 years, maybe even less, it's the experiences that you'll remember. It's the things you do that shape you, not the things you own. You know, it's such an easy thing to forget, but if you think about that, what would you rather? Travel to a new, exciting place or buy another piece of clothing? Keep that answer in mind when you're trying to decide where to spend your money. Now, if you're enjoying this video, why not give it a thumbs up? And if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. My next tip is to organize your home and throw things away. Truly, I have to say, if you've never decluttered, if you've never thrown things away with intent, you don't know what you're missing. Organizing your home and making room because you're throwing things away you no longer need re-energizes you. It's almost like you can breathe better. Well, if your house was a mess before you organized it, you probably are breathing better after it. You know, I may or may not be speaking from experience here. Another thing you can do that will make such a difference in your mind frame is making the bed. Have you ever heard of the saying, messy bed, messy head? It's just so true. Just give it a try. Okay, moving on. The next tip sounds simple in theory, but sometimes life just takes over. So you really need to be purposeful about it, okay? Just make sure to stand up every hour. Sounds easy, right? Now, try remembering to do it while you're really in the zone working away. You don't want to get up and just lose that focus. Now, another big mistake we make, not only during work hours, but throughout the day, is to neglect our posture. You know, both of these small changes will make a world of difference later on, but even by the end of that day, when all the tiredness and aching show up to annoy us, you'll feel it. And by the way, I know that this is the kind of thing most people think about in New Year's with all the resolutions and the renewed motivation for self-improvement, but I say there's not a better time to get started than right now. And if you're watching this video, chances are it found you exactly when you needed it. Next, our 8th tip is something you've probably heard over and over again, but keep forgetting to do, which is to drink more water. Now, I probably don't have to tell you why drinking water is so important, but I will anyway, just as a reminder. It prevents dehydration, it makes you look and feel better, it flushes out toxins and bacteria, helps regulate body temperature, lose weight, etc., etc., etc. Just get one of those cool bottles and take them with you everywhere. It really is a habit. If you keep drinking water every day, eventually you'll miss it when you don't. Now, to nurture your mind, the next tip is watch less news and read for 15 minutes a day. You know, watching news can actually become addictive, particularly when there is something stressful going on around you. You just can't help yourself from going back for updates, but the anxiety you're putting yourself through is so harmful. On the other hand, making sure to read for 15 minutes a day and allowing your mind to wander is the best way to relax your mind and keep it away from your worries. So just give your mind that rest, that time out it so desperately needs. Which brings me to my 10th tip, a great way to keep your mind young and active, which is to discover a new thing at least once a month. A new place to visit, a new hobby to try, even a new recipe, anything to keep life interesting and your mind sharp. By now you're thinking, sure, these are all small things, but if I add all of them, it will take a lot of time out of my day. And that's actually true. So my next tip is question if the time you spend on things is actually worth it. What I mean to say is we waste a lot of time doing things that don't really contribute to our well-being. Now, I'm not judging here. You will find me scrolling down social media or watching TV for longer than I would care to admit. But I'm making an effort to change that, and what I find is, as I introduce more and more changes that make me feel good, I realize how empty a lot of the things I used to do actually are. Yes, of course you can watch TV and spend time on social media if that's what makes you feel good. What I'm saying here is stop to understand if it actually makes you feel good, or if you're just shutting your brain off and detaching. Because if so, there are a lot of other things you could be doing to feel better instead, like some of the things I suggested in this video. And on that note, my 12th tip is to cut one bad habit a day. That's right. Every day, cut one thing you know it's not good for you, even if you're going to go back to it the next day. One thing per day. Just try cutting it and see how it feels. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Which leads me to my next tips, since we're on the subject of changing daily habits, which is do something to step out of your comfort zone. Ooh, so scary. It doesn't have to be a big deal. I'm not saying go up to that person you've had a crush on for years and ask them out. I mean something that you want to do, but isn't comfortable for you. It can be as simple as trying a new food, taking a different route to work, shopping at a different supermarket, whatever it is, try it once a day. Now, moving on, my next tip is making time for taking 1 minute out of your day to be by yourself. No family, no phones, no friends, no pets, no books, just you alone with your thoughts. Yes, it can be while you're sitting in the toilet, as long as it is a minute and you're fully present and you don't crap on your moment. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Okay, I'm good. It's another one of those things that may feel awkward at first, but as you get into it, you'll be amazed at where it takes you. It's quite addictive, actually. Okay, here is the big tip, the one thing you can start doing now to completely change the way you live your life, how you make decisions, even how you see yourself. And that tip is let go of what others think of you. For starters, because you don't truly know what people think of you. Even if they tell you, you still don't know if that's true, or even if they know how they feel in the first place. How many times do we see people being afraid of what they don't know, or criticizing what they envy? There is just no way to truly know. Second, it really shouldn't matter. It is your life, not theirs. You take the fall and reap the rewards for your own decisions, not them. Even the most important person in your life doesn't get to live your life for you. You do that. I know it's not easy to do, but there are some things you can start doing right now, like focusing on what really matters and keeping people's opinions in perspective. Or even staying away from opinionated people if that's what it takes. Surround yourself with people who nurture you. You know, there's this exercise I do a lot of times where I try to imagine that I'm my best friend. How would you feel if your best friend was sad or hurt because of what other people thought about them? What would you tell them? Well, that's what you tell yourself and move on. You know, I'd love to know if you've actually tried any of these tips and how they worked for you, or if you have any other tips to share. So leave me a comment telling me all about it. And that is it for me today. I will see you for our next video. Bye bye!